Chapter 6, The American Yoga Academy Yoga Teacher Training Manual. Teaching Methods. Before class. Have students fill out health evaluation forms before their first class. Arrive at least 15 to 20 minutes early. Check the following environmental factors: temperature, music and Bluetooth connection, water, cleanliness, location and availability of blankets and mats, location of telephone. If you have index cards or another written guide to your sequence, keep them tucked under your mat, towel, or blanket. Refer to your notes only if you panic and forget what comes next. And have students come into a pose where they won't notice you referring to your notes. For example, child's pose. At the beginning of class. As you begin class, be aware that not everyone can sit comfortably in a cross-legged position. Before you begin introductions, demonstrate other ways to sit comfortably: on blankets, with knees bent and feet flat on the mat, one leg out to the side, etc. Introduce yourself to the class and go around the room letting each person say their name, even if you're all familiar with each other. Students should also share how they are physically feeling that day, noting any physical situations or challenges. Even if you feel fine, model this by saying something like, "My name is blank, and I feel pretty good today, although my right knee feels a little sore from playing tennis yesterday." Eye contact is very important. As students introduce themselves, make eye contact and think namaste to yourself as you look at each student. The word namaste is a common greeting that means I honor the light in you that is the same as the light in me. Throughout the class, periodically make eye contact with each student. Explain the sequence of postures or asanas at the beginning of class. Your explanation should come from the heart. The American Yoga Academy's signature yoga posture sequence begins with lying down postures, then seated postures, then standing postures. From standing, we come down to our knees, and then we return to our backs for relaxation. When students are lying down for breathing exercises in the beginning of class, talk them through the exercises in a gentle yet clearly audible voice. When doing ankle circles and flexing and pointing the toes, remind students that they can keep their knees bent if that is more comfortable for their lower backs. Remind students that comfort is important and that there are variations for every pose. Be sure to watch the students throughout the class. Demonstrate a pose and then look up and around at students, or get up and walk around. This is the best way to tell students what you need to explain or reinforce, and it also reassures students that you are paying attention to them. Remember, when you are teaching, you are not engaged in your own practice. You are safely facilitating the practice of your students. During class. Relax, smile, make contact with each student. Silently say to yourself, "How can I help? How can I serve?" Encourage students. Use phrases such as, "You're doing great," "Awesome job," "Nice work." Remind students to practice comfortably and mindfully with phrases such as, "Breathe with your comfort level," "Relax your shoulders," "Keep a pleasant look on your face," "Smile with your eyes." Remind students of health benefits and what the poses are doing. Invite students to relax on the mat in child's pose if they are tired or out of breath. Remember, it's not how far you can reach, it's how deep you can breathe. Relax through the movement and use the breath. Let the class know that you will be coming around, gently assisting them in the asanas. If students would prefer not to be touched, invite them to simply wave you on. Explain how to lie down and get up safely. Demonstrate this to the class and let them watch you. Then, lie down with the class. Be sure that you consistently use this technique yourself. Have the class bend their knees while lying down, feet apart, knees as together as is comfortable. Remind the class that students can bend their knees when they lie down, which may be more comfortable on their lower backs. Students should begin the complete breath while they are on their backs. During this time, walk around the room and gently relax their shoulders. Before you touch anyone, explain what you're about to do. If students would prefer not to be touched, invite them to simply wave you on. Name and explain every posture. Name it and explain it. Always face your students when you are speaking, so they can clearly hear your voice and maintain eye contact. Sometimes you may need to keep your head raised or turn your head towards your students. Be sure to mirror the poses. For example, seated twist pose, half triangle, etc., where the class can see you. If the room is crowded or awkward, move around the room or turn your body from one side to the other to be sure that everyone in the room can see your pose. Be sure to check each student's arms, feet, shoulders, and head for alignment. Assist them if necessary, asking for permission before you touch them. For example, I'm going to gently lift your left arm to show you where you should be feeling the lengthening. Is that okay? Explain that if something doesn't feel right, they don't have to do it. Suggest an alternative position if you see someone struggling. Remind everyone that child's pose, on the knees or on the back, is the official resting pose of yoga. Rather than singling out one struggling student, you can ask everyone to come down into child's pose for a rest. Periodically ask the class how they're feeling. The transition poses in each sequence are an excellent time for this question. Remind students to keep a softness in their joints. Locking the joints, straining, or overextending your ligaments blocks the flow of energy. If students have any knee pain, have them roll onto their backs and bring their knees towards their chests during child's pose, table, and earth pose. If a student's head does not comfortably touch the mat in child's pose, have them loosely stack their fists and rest their heads on their hands. When students are breathing in a pose towards the end of class, prepare blankets or towels to use to cover the students during relaxation if you haven't already done so. Before relaxation, remind the students that you'll be coming around to cover them with a blanket or towel. Once again, if they would rather not be covered, tell them to simply wave you on. As you cover each student, silently wish them peace and happiness. If you wish, perform Reiki, sharing your loving energy with them around the heart chakra of each student. Guide your students' relaxation with visualizations. For example, your eyes are gently relaxing towards their sockets. Let your lips gently part as you relax your jaw. Your shoulders are melting into your mat or blanket. Your body is absorbing the beautiful energy you have created. Go inside and listen for the beating of your heart, etc. Gentle words help to keep students oriented and focused without worrying that they're missing something. Then, stop talking and let the students rest in silence for 8 to 10 minutes. A rule of thumb for Shavasana is 5 minutes for every half hour of asana practice. Take the opportunity to share a quote or meditation with your students, as they enter into relaxation pose. Here's a suggestion by Sarah Fabry, registered yoga teacher. Repeat each phrase slowly, allowing 20 to 30 seconds between each phrase. Be still and know peace is within. Be still and know peace. Be still and know. Be still. Be. Words matter. Omit the words fall, drop, grab. Instead, use the words relax, bring, and create space. Omit the word try and use practice. Omit the word but and use however or and. Omit the word don't and instead use the word avoid. After class. After relaxation, as the class comes into sleeping baby pose, be sure to say, take a moment to nurture yourself and love yourself just the way you are, and remember to nurture and love yourself every day. At the end of class, have everyone come into hands to heart pose and take a few deep breaths. Next, everyone brings their fingertips to their foreheads, taking a bow to their higher selves and inner beings. Finally, bring the hands back to the heart center and wish peace and happiness to each other around the room, and then namaste. Always explain the meaning of the word namaste. It is a common greeting that means, I honor the light in you that is the same as the light in me. Always ask if anyone has questions about the class or about yoga. Let students know you will be tidying up after class and that they can talk to you during that time. Hugs are optional. This concludes Chapter 6 of the American Yoga Academy Yoga Teacher Training Manual. We hope this audio version was useful for you. If it was, please comment below and let us know. Thank you, and namaste.